So
kind
not
of. I tell everybody I'm more puppy brained. The best way to explain it is
puppy brain.
I am an adult and I understand I'm an adult.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need like I do regress because of my traumatic past a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
But there's some people that go a little bit farther than I would, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just I
Yeah.
do it to rest and relax with my husband, and
I mean, the
with
whole
the exception
ABD,
of
the whole AB
oh,
thing
go ahead.
does actually, I don't know, it does turn me off, but like some of it's cute in a way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's trying to think of how to word it properly. ABDL, or because baby furs are just a subculture of ABDL. So we'll just go with the ABDL, the adult baby diaper lovers.
Yeah,
So the diaper lovers and the adult babies, they're not really always someone that uses a diaper, and they're not always someone that's sexual with it. Some people
yeah,
use it for release of stress,
yeah.
cope with
Just
something,
just for
relive a
comfort.
time in their
Some
life
of
when they
them don't
were,
even use it.
yeah, correct. Um, so it's such a huge term, like it covers so much. We couldn't sit here and talk about everything it covers in one video. It's not possible.
No.
But I know a lot of people are turned away from baby first because of misinformation, or
Yeah,
ABDLs because of misinformation.
yeah,
Because the first thing they think, oh, well, they sexualize kids. Well, no,
yeah.
that's not true. The first letter
There's
in
such a
ABDL
difference.
is A for adult. It's only for
Yeah,
adults.
there's such a difference.
Oh, big difference. I would actually trust in an ABDL watching a kid over any other person because of the simple fact they want to be like that kid. They're going to protect that kid with their life.
Yeah,
Um, but now you don't let a stranger watch your kids. That's just weird. Um, but I do know a lot of ABDLs that do have kids, and their kids are the healthiest and most protected kids on earth.
hmm.
And they also understand their kids on a different level. Like they know what their kid is wanting or needing more than most other parents because well
They
they
listen to
can get
them.
on that level of what that kid is in their
Yeah,
head and
they
in their
listen to
little
them.
space.
They listen to their kids.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
they
have
give them
kids
that
myself,
that
but
mindset.
like, you know,
Yeah, I don't I raised six kids years and years ago that weren't mine. They were my sister's, but her baby daddy left. So I
babysitting.
had to help take care of her and those kids for a long time until
Yeah.
she got into a
Uh,
stable life.
okay.
And let me tell you, kids can be a financial burden. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
kids.
That is the thing that most scares me from having a kid myself. Even like a one or twins or anything, I'd be scared shitless because the financial burden on it.
Oh, back when I
I
worked
think
for
I couldn't
the
afford
sheriff's
it.
office,
I couldn't afford it. Yeah.
my sergeant had triplets, and they were expecting one kid, and they ended up with triplets.
Oh
I
my
felt
god.
so bad for him.
Unlucky.
Very unlucky, but you know
But
what? I see him every
is
now
it
and then,
lucky
and
though?
so
Because those kids are blessings.
to him, yes.
Yeah.
Now, he said once we got past the eat, poop, and giggles and crying, it was good. It got good.
Yeah.
But his kids now are like, I think they're all 8 years old now.
All
Or
right.
the triplets are eight. But it's
Well,
funny
if they're
watching when
born
we
at the
go
same
grocery
time.
shopping because they literally file in line. He used to be in the military and then he went to work for the sheriff's office in the jail like me
Yeah.
back
He was a
then. I
cop.
don't work
Yeah.
there no more. No, I was not a cop. A lot of people
No,
think
he
that.
was.
Yeah, yeah. He ended up getting his commission and becoming a cop later on. Yes.
All right. That's a good job.
Um, but yeah, I actually miss working in the jail some days. It was a good job. It was a bad job, but it was a good job. It was an easy job most time.
What was the worst about it?
Getting stabbed.
Oh no, you didn't, did you?
I did. I did.
Oh
I actually got stabbed right here in the chest. It was
no.
like just right near my heart. Didn't hit my heart, luckily.
Yeah, or a
So
via lottery.
we had it. We had a guard on day shift that liked to lie to the inmates just to kind of. He thought it was funny. Someone that definitely. I was glad when we got him fired a couple of weeks later.
Hmm.
Um, but he lied to an inmate. An inmate lost it, and he decided he was going to stab the next guard that came in, which happened to be me. Luckily, someone had passed us a note, so we knew he had something. That's why we went in there. I didn't go in there like I normally did, where he probably would have killed me. But
Holy.
when you work in a jail or a prison, you have to be situational awareness. So
Yeah,
you got to stay on guard.
yeah.
Had I not been on guard, I would have been killed that day
Oh my God. Oh,
over someone lying. They're like, "Hey, don't come in here. This guy's going got a shank and he's gonna go after the next guard." So I went in there, and a couple of our deputies went in with me, and we
wait.
were
So
able to
what
get
was
it.
it? One of the other convicts that tipped off? Like,
Righted him. Yep,
yeah,
one of the other inmates. Actually,
yeah,
it was pretty much half the other pod. Like because like they all knew what was going on, and they didn't like this guy either. He was crazy. Most see, I worked in a jail, not the prison.
yeah.
When
All
this
right,
happened,
yeah. Jail.
so most jails we treat people. We have to treat people as though they're innocent because they're not guilty at
Then
this point. Just
yeah,
because you're
it
in
could.
jail doesn't mean
Yeah,
you're
it's
guilty.
not
You're just waiting for
prison.
court.
Like prison's different from jail. So yeah,
Yeah. So and there's still people in prison that are innocent, but when you go to prison, you're treated as though you're guilty no matter what.
yeah,
Um, because you're convicted at that point for
yeah,
whatever reason. I don't like our justice system. I think it needs a lot of work.
yeah.
I definitely don't
You know
think
what?
we need to
I've
get rid of
never actually
cops.
had to deal with like the justice system myself because I've never been arrested. Well, I've been in like cop cars, but I've never actually been arrested myself. So I don't know
I've
how it
had one
works.
cop threaten to arrest me once, and
For what?
he probably should have. I ripped his badge off of his shirt and told him to go turn his gun in and quit
Oh
being
well,
a cop.
that's like a minor offense though.
Uh, it would have been a felony if he wanted to pursue charges, but he quickly decided against it.
That seems very
So,
minor though. That's like shouting at a
yeah,
copper when you're drunk.
I was I was 18 at the time. Uh, I started dating my. This was around the time me and my ex-wife. I wouldn't say we started dating around this time. We were probably dating probably for a year. So, her ex decided that he was wanting her back, and she refused to go back to him. And he came up and decided one day, because he had been drinking, he pulled a gun on me. Well,
Oh,
in my hometown, my family is very well known and respected, but we're
yeah.
also people know that you don't mess around with our family. Well,
Mm,
he decided to pull a gun on me. Wasn't a very smart idea because all of us were trained from very young on gun safety, how to use a gun, but also how to defend ourselves.
yeah.
So I ended up getting the gun away from him, put the gun right between his eyes, and pulled the trigger. Clearly, was ready to kill the guy because of self defense. Well, it went click because it was empty.
He
Um,
didn't he didn't recognize it was loaded before he.
no, he knew it was unloaded. He was just trying to scare me, trying to get her
Oh,
back.
dickhead.
Well, I did that. Well, when I realized the gun was empty, I grabbed the barrel of it and pistol whipped him across the face really hard. Well, at that time, the local officer seen a fight and he came over and seen what was going on and everything. And so he's trying to he put me in handcuffs and put the other guy in handcuffs and trying to figure out what was going on, why there was a gun being used to beat somebody. And I said, well, this dumb motherfucker pulled the trigger. Pulled the gun on me, and I pulled the trigger on him.
Yeah.
He wasn't smart enough to have it loaded. Well, by this time, he had to call in everything that was going on, so state police showed up and everything. They questioned both sides and everybody around what was going on, took everybody's statements,
Mm.
and they were going to release the other guy and let him go, and they weren't charging me either.
Well,
Um,
you didn't do anything.
and I walked up to the city cop, pulled his badge off of his shirt, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, told him he needed to go turn his stuff in and find a different job and stop pretending to be a cop.
And you got charged
And
for
the
that.
trooper, oh, he got mad. He was like, I'm going to arrest you. And then the trooper goes, yeah, well, if you arrest him, you really need to arrest the guy that pulled the gun. Because the troopers all knew my family very well. The city cop he knew our family, but he was still fairly new. He dealt with my cousins who were total dirtbags,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I suppose it wasn't
But
that cool though to rip the badge off though. You know,
it
because
wasn't smart. Like
yeah,
in hindsight, it definitely wasn't a smart thing to do.
yeah,
But the fact that he pulled a gun on me and almost
yeah,
caused
Yeah,
me to
that's
take
not
his
cool
life
either.
in self-defense.
Yeah.
To me, that was no, you need to arrest him for, at least brandishing a weapon.
Mm,
Even, yeah, I took the weapon from him and beat him with it, but that was self-defense. And I would fight I'd go to court and fight over it.
yeah.
And he told me,
I've got
because the troopers were trying to calm me down because I was mad. I'm like, no, this
yeah,
guy pulled a gun on me, put my life
yeah,
and other people's lives in danger.
yeah. They've got to
I
keep
want,
an eye on you though.
oh yeah, well, not
If you're
anymore.
angry, and they've still got to like do their due
They
diligence
got to
and
do their
that.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily, like I said, it was all settled. And a few
Mm.
years later, the guy got his just desserts because he decided to pull a gun on someone
But
again. And that time,
is that what you were in jail for?
oh, I was never in jail. Like
Oh no,
I've
you
never
did.
been in jail. I've only been a guard, and that's it.
All right.
So actually, technically, I have been in jail, but I worked for the jail.
Worked for
I've actually
yeah,
never been
yeah,
arrested.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
technically, I
Okay.
was in cuffs, but that's not being
Mm,
arrested
yeah.
because
Well, like I
just
said,
because the cops put you in cuffs, don't mean you're
I've
arrested.
been in cop cars, but I've never actually been in cuffs for them. It's always
Cop
been in
cars are
like
fun to drive.
they're good drivers
Yeah,
because they can get through
but
traffic.
just never buy a retired police car because they're never maintained like they say they are.
Really? Because there's
Yeah,
like
you
one.
always hear these people that want to be cops. You can tell they'll never be a cop, and all they are an impersonator. And the first thing they'll tell you is, "Oh yeah, I bought it because they to maintain these the best." No, no. Half the time they only get an oil change once a year, and they put on probably 6 times as many miles that a regular person puts on their vehicle a year. Never buy an ex police car. Never buy an ex fleet car of any sort because
Yeah.
they're not well maintained like you would think.
Right.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
took
take
your
my hat
hair
off
off.
because it's driving me. Yeah, it was driving me nuts.
Gotta see those ears wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Dude, they're so fluid.
Yeah, the person who made this base did a really good job.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't drive. I can't afford it. I can't afford a car.
It's okay. Cars are expensive. Like, so my daily driver is a Dodge Challenger, and let me tell you, my tires are expensive. They're $500 a tire.